Hello, everybody. Welcome to Show to View with Mike G, the show of life, the show of Sotol, the show of agave, the show of Chihuahua. And today's guest is Ricardo Pico, the brand ambassador for Hacienda de Chihuahua, a wonderful Sotol. And honestly, I want to keep talking about the Sotol that Ricardo shared with me, which is this Rustico. And it is not a clean, tight, unambitious spirit. It is wild, tasty, deep, dynamic. And Ricardo and I take a lot of turns here, but the thing that's really, really apparent in this conversation is how passionate and how much love Ricardo has for Chihuahua. And I hope that after you hear kind of some stories and how he feels about agave, Sotol, the state of Chihuahua, that one, we'll all get to go there and enjoy and experience what the state has to offer, but also that maybe we'll learn a little bit more about the field of agave and desert spirits. So without further ado, let's dive into my interview with Ricardo Pico.
It was cool, man. I was impressed. I mean, it's the kind of artist that you have seen sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, or you have heard.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a big fan of him.
Yeah, it's hard, because he was good, but before I was born.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? In the 70s, the songs were better. But
when you see him play and you hear the depth of his voice, you're like, wow. I mean,
it's still got it?
Yeah. He's incredible.
Yeah.
And his musicians, they're badass too.
Was it fun?
So, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. When you see, a good band, you can really say, these guys are...
They're good. They're
at
great.
another level. I don't know, some sort of royalty music.
Dude, totally, right? You see, Coldplay, Radiohead is a good one.
Yeah.
Right? If you see Radiohead, you're like, wow, these guys are fucking good.
Exactly. Exactly.
And, they're good, but, you feel it, you know?
Exactly. I think that's the greatest difference between just being a professional and being virtuoso.
Yeah. That's exactly it, yeah. So were you pedaling Sotol at the F1 or just kind of hanging out?
Not really. No. Actually, my friend Jorge Raptis from Don Julio, he's the brand ambassador here for Don Julio in Texas.
Yeah.
Actually, I can also get him for you if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure.
Great guy. He's very knowledgeable. He's worked at all the distributors.
Mm-hmm.
So he invited me because a little earlier than before the races was my birthday. So
nice.
A couple weeks before. So he was like, "Hey, let's."
That's great.
Let's all go to the races.
Let's go. Does he live in Texas or is he?
He's in Dallas.
He's in Dallas. Okay.
Yeah. He used to be in Houston, but right now he's in Dallas. He comes here very often. And such a shame, because probably around 2 or 3 weeks ago, he came with Enrique Colza, their master distiller.
No kidding, of Don Julio.
Here to Austin.
Into Austin?
Yeah.
Where were they hanging out?
They organized a dinner at, have you been to Verdes?
No, I don't
Parrilla?
No, I don't think so. Where is it? Do you know?
It's in Round Rock.
Oh, it's in Round Rock. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the place that's has great tequila and mezcal? There's only that one place.
Yes, exactly.
In Round Rock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got the biggest selection. He has even the casks in some of the rooms.
No shit.
Yeah.
So how was? Did you get to go?
No, I didn't get to go. I wasn't. I think I was in San Francisco for
the Max's the big
exactly
fest.
Max Garon's, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you've been in touch with them, right?
Yeah, I talked to Max a bit. We chatted on the phone before. I ended up Well, one, we didn't have the Sotol to share, which I would have loved to share. But we just didn't have it, right?
Uh-huh.
And then two, that was out of the country, so it was really unfortunate because it looked like a fucking killer event.
Oh yeah,
How was it?
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was a little bigger than last time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I think the first edition was a little better.
Yeah.
But
How many years have they been doing it now? Is this
two.
the second? Two.
This is
okay.
the second, yeah.
What's the official name of it again?
Mexico in a bottle.
Mexico in a bottle. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And I mean the idea is brilliant. I think it's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, like this last time they had too many events.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I don't know, like it was a whole week instead
right.
of just one day. So I think it spread a little bit, and it also was like a little of a combination because someone opened a club over there, and some were I don't know, and they took them to the opening.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know, 60 of the biggest bartenders
Wow.
were not there because they were
because the other thing.
yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah,
It's a little bit of a bummer.
exactly.
Did you try anything interesting? I mean, there's lots of stuff from what I understand. Did you try anything new that you hadn't had before?
Oh yeah, cucharilla,
What's that?
Sotol from Oaxaca.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Is it earth pit cooked as well?
Yeah, pit cooked, and I mean, that's what I've been finding lately. Like Sotol, I mean, like it's very malleable plant.
It really is. Yeah.
Whatever you put it, I mean, it just absorbs the flavors of the terroir from the region.
It really does. It sucks it up, man. Like one of the people that had tried the Sotol said, "Hey, this tastes like Texas after a rain." And so it does. And I'll ride my bike to work in the morning, and every so often the dew kind of, to be poetic, right? the dew comes up off the plants in there. And there aren't Sotol plants, but it's relatively the same soil, and it just smells like that Sotol. Like
exactly.
Just slight muskiness and dampness, but yet very Texas, you know?
Yes.
It's interesting. I don't know why. Maybe because it's such a dense plant, it has to just survive, and it sucks in as much as possible of that terroir. At least the smaller ones in Texas, I think, have to do that.
Yeah. No, and it's just the same. I mean, when you cross the border through Ojinaga and Presidio, the Sotols from that region taste just like...
just like it smells?
Yeah, I mean, well, and like what dirt, kind of. How you were saying it, like you roll down your windows and you're like...
This smells like the spirit. Yeah. And that's one of the kind of appeals, I think, for me. I don't know about you, but that it is like a pure kind of translation of the land into a spirit.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons mezcals are so appealing to me. And I love bourbon, love it. But mezcal to me represents the land at a certain point at a certain time.
Exactly.
You know,
and I mean, it's just like, I don't know, like on a tree when they cut it. I mean, you have so many layers.
That's totally right. Yeah.
And I mean, like, so basically, the plant is describing its lifespan through the drink. So
yeah, it's like a narrative, right?
Exactly.
That's why, like, Tepestate, which is really old, over 20 years in a lot of cases, tastes like so many seasons.
Yes.
So like over a decade.
It's,
it's got so much
depth.
Yeah. It's crazy, and I think that a lot of people don't understand that. At least in my opinion, tequila doesn't possess that same kind of transportative quality that a mezcal does. I like tequila for sure, but it feels shorter, it feels tighter, it feels newer.
Yes.
You know? And Sotol also has a relatively long life. I mean, it's not in the 20s of years, but it tastes like eons. It tastes like generations.
Yeah.
You know?
No, definitely. And I mean, like, the broader the ranges, the more flavor you're going to get, the more character that the plant has.
It's crazy. So I've met you as Sotol brethren, you know? And I don't know that much about where you grew up and how you got involved with all this stuff. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born and raised in Chihuahua.
Oh, really? Okay. So you were in it.
Yes.
From the beginning.
I mean, not...
At least by proximity.
Exactly, by proximity. And I mean, that's what my friends and I used to drink when we were young.
Did you like it even then?
Or was it just
the thing you drank?
I mean, we were young and we didn't know how to savor or enjoy a spirit.
You're drinking it for a different reason, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, we used to drink the Mesteño, which was the 51, the mixto from Hacienda, which is actually not available here.
So it's not the same bottle, right?
No. It's like a tall, square bottle. Let me see if I can get a hold of it. But and it's pretty good, actually. By the way, I mean, and that's I don't know. In this industry, I think there are many angles.
Angles. What do you? I know what you mean, but what do you mean by angles?
Yeah, I mean that just because something doesn't appeal to you, some people think that something that doesn't appeal to them is wrong.
Oh, I see.
So, I mean, like, for instance, I don't know, well, if you do steam cook Sotol, or if you age Sotol,
right,
or if you, just switch the Sotol word for a raicilla, or for tequila, or for mezcal. There's a lot of,
opposite, like, people really, really, what's the word?
Purists,
that's good, yeah.
Purists, or maybe,
they're rigid.
Exactly, rigid. Let's say
it's like they just see, and I mean, with spirits just in general, I just want it to be what it is. Like, I don't want coloring and stuff. I mean, that comes into play with some rye whiskeys here and some whiskeys that bourbons sometimes do. I just don't want that. But in terms of like how it's processed and stuff, I think it's quite interesting to taste the difference between something Steve cooked. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and also, I mean, of course, yes. As long as it's not like artificial stuff, and it's not like
or nectar, you know what I mean? Like
something that's making their job easier.
Yeah, because they're doing it as a shortcut to make money.
Exactly. So I think as long as it doesn't pollute the pureness, or it doesn't, I don't know, take away from tradition, and
it's not so bad.
Exactly, it's extreme maybe.
Yeah, it's like using aluminum bats, right?
Exactly.
Right? Like everybody's like, well, why aren't you using a wooden bat? It's like, well, it's actually better for the environment if you just keep using aluminum bats because they're less. But it challenges your notion of what is traditional with it.
Exactly.
But I kind of like that. I mean, that's one of the reasons that we did the Sotol in the first place, is to say we don't want to interfere with the spirit at all. We just want to take the plants, chop them up, cook them, and then distill them, and then that's it. And I think that's what, not to toot our own horn, but that's what makes a good spirit, I think. Even if you don't like the flavor of it, right? It's just that process is really important.
And also, I think it's an interpretation.
Yes.
So I mean, it's absolutely. Like it's like music. We were talking about music a little bit earlier, and a band might just have a different vibe playing a hit or a good song, and I mean, they might just be as good. Yeah, but it's
just different.
Exactly.
And we all grow up different. It's all a different narrative for us. We're all creative in different ways too. And being in the States, obviously we're gonna have a different sense of pop culture and stuff like that. And so maybe we think about distilling that agave stuff differently here, but I like that kind of, it adds to the dialogue of having different options with the spirits and stuff,
Definitely.
So how long were you in Chihuahua?
So in Chihuahua, 18 years. And then I went to study to El Paso.
Oh, at El Paso. Okay.
Yeah.
UTEP
I went to college UTEP.
Yeah, UTEP. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, which is still Mexico. I mean, it's just like a Mexican...
did it feel like you even moved at all
in the U.S.?
Yeah.
No, I did move because.
No, but I mean, did it feel like that different? I mean, it is the States. It is Texas.
Yes, I mean, borders are super interesting. I mean, like, it's a whole different concept, because I mean, like, you have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And it's kind of very porous in the sense that I mean, like, it blends and
it's kind of seamless, right?
Exactly.
From what is really like a Western culture and kind of American lifestyle, but from what is maybe sometimes, would you consider it like poorer? It's an interesting blend between the two.
Yes, definitely. And for instance, Chihuahua and northern Mexico itself, it's very Americanized. I mean, it's like it's like a very kind of a lot of similarities with Texas. Very kind of a cowboy culture. I don't know, like cuisine down in the south. It's very complex. It's like a lot of different elements. A lot of in the north. I mean, we're very simple. I mean, we just kill a cow and throw like a huge chunk of the steak into the grill, you know, and make some quesadillas, and it's very.
It's all about is food a big piece of the culture there too? It seems like it's drinking and food and family.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's almost always summer. In Chihuahua, we have a very good weather, but during the winter, I mean, like in the hills, the mountains, it gets very cold. It's and that's part of the where Sotol grows. Sotol grows in very, very dry summer climate or weather, and it survives very, very hot summers and very, very cold winters.
Very resilient plant.
Exactly. So it's very, I mean, extreme temperatures, and I think that roughness and those challenges really come into the flavor.
I totally, I always think of it, one, that's why more people don't plant Sotol, for that particular reason. Its resilience to weather changes is beyond me. I don't understand why it's not a bigger thing in the States, right? Because it can just grow, and it will just grow. It takes some time, of course. But the thing is, like, think about the most difficult cutoff person that you know. They're smart. Maybe it's a guy, maybe it's a girl, whatever. But they're smart. They know they're smart, but for some reason, emotionally, they won't let you connect with them, And so you have to keep prying, and it takes time, and it takes coaxing, and it takes all of this attention to develop an intimacy with this person. But when you do, you realize how wonderful this person is. And that's what the Sotol is to me. It's like, even physically, it's just like closed off, and it's like, do not get in, do not touch my heart. Almost literally. It's that way, and it's something beautiful about Sotol in that way.
Yeah, or I mean, like, if you put it in those terms,
those ridiculous terms.
No, they're pretty good. I mean, or it might be the pretty girl too.
Sure.
I mean, like, you take ages to, get to know her and to gain confidence and start dating her or something.
Yeah, so, it is. It's like that. It's a weird, and since it's a plant, you spending time with it and kind of watching it evolve, like, that's something we do. That's what you watch stuff grow. You know what I mean? Like, it's a beautiful plant in that sense. But when you were going to UTEP, what were you studying? Something
economics.
Economics. Okay.
Yeah, economics. My background doesn't relate as much.
Well, the booze industry always has economics, Ricardo. Yeah,
exactly. Just in practice, I used to drink the Sotol, I mean, like tequila, whatnot. But one very, very interesting thing about northern Mexico is that, and it's pretty much a shame that we don't consume our spirits. I mean, it's
really?
And it's something a little historical and political at the same time.
Can you give me some background on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, right now I'm trying to track the origins of Sotol, and along with historians, anthropologists, friends, producers, and I mean, there is not much out there.
No,
I mean,
there's not.
Actually, even historians say, like, there's a big gap.
Like a big chunk where there's no info, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this last time I was talking to Jesus Vargas, who's a professor at Universidad Autónoma de Ciudad Juárez, and he was mentioning that in the 1930s, they were producing around 300,000 liters of Sotol.
Wow. Out of
Chihuahua.
No,
exactly.
That's a crazy amount.
It's a spirit that during the Prohibition era used to be smuggled into the U.S. The Chicago Mafia used to buy it.
Yeah. Boardwalk Empire, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just impressive how Sotol has been always there. It's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
But we don't have any records of it.
Yeah, I mean, and people still don't really fully understand what it is and its relationship to tequila from a species perspective or mezcal. It's crazy because tequila. Why do you think that tequila became kind of the pop star of agave? Now, I understand that Sotol is not officially agave, but it is Asparagacea, which is the same family.
Yes, exactly. It's under the same. It's still under the same family, and I mean, I think it resembles. I mean, of course, yeah. And as you were saying, I mean, officially it's not, but I mean, if you want to relate it to something, you might start by the
it's very closely resembles those deserts. I like that term, desert spirit, because it's just a spirit from the desert. Obviously, it's only certain kinds of plants can grow there. But a raicilla can be vastly different from a sotol. But those guys they're all part of the same crew. Right?
Exactly, it's a maguey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's maguey, and but yeah, I think they're very, very close. I mean, because the flavor profile is similar.
It is,
and what you're getting, the terroir, the process.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's many similarities, but I think tequila, of course. I think it's the oldest one.
Oh,
that has. I mean, in terms of how could we put it? And I mean, I don't know as much about tequila as I would like.
Either do I. I mean, I think about what the flavor is like. And it's just never quite as deep. Now that I'm not trying to discount, like there's the Sambrevales, for example, which is a recent one that comes to mind. That's nice and rich and hearty, lowland tequila. But for the most part, it's not meant to be like Sotol. It's not meant to be that rich for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I think, for instance, tequila, it's very elegant. It's very clean.
Yeah, it's right. It's very elegant, very tight. Very polished.
Exactly. And I think, I mean, it's wonderful, but it has its own appeal and it has its own base. And I don't know. That's how I feel about all Mexican spirits.
Yeah.
I think they complement each other.
They do,
I think there's not really like, oh, this is better than this or this is. They're just for different occasions. And it's like, hey, you wake up and you say like, hey, what am I gonna wear today?
Feeling? Yeah.
How am I feeling? Yeah, and
because summer maybe you want lighter, maybe winter you want more pensive. You want something challenging.
Exactly, and then I mean it gets a lot more complex because then you're starting not only with the category but with the terroir.
Yeah.
So okay, well, right now I'm feeling like having something more herbal. I'm feeling like having something that tastes more like dirt, fruit, or and
but this is the thing is that the way Americans, I'll just put it that way, the way that Americans treat wine, they haven't yet got that advanced with the desert spirits. Yes. Whereas it's almost the perfect analogy because wines are very much like that. They talk about the terroir, they talk about the soil, all of these things. But how long do you think it's going to be before people? I won't quote you. No, I won't quote you. No. But how long do you think it's going to be before people start looking at mezcal and they start looking at Sotol, maybe even raicilla, which is like a fourth place guy that's like back in the race? How long is it going to be till people start thinking about that the same way?
I don't know. I think mezcal has really contributed because it kind of opened up a new world for agave enthusiasts. So I think it might take, 10 years more until we get the whole act together on Mexican spirits. And I just think that it will only grow.
Yeah.
Because, right now you have 26 states in Mexico that can make mezcal. And, for instance, in Chihuahua, I found mezcal.
Really?
Which is called lechuguilla.
Lechuguilla, yeah.
So there's a lechuguilla from Chihuahua. There's, of course, the Bacanora in Sonora, raicilla
right.
in the Bajío region. So I think we probably haven't.
It feels like we haven't scratched the surface just yet, have we?
Exactly.
We have like a couple iconic kind of pioneer the guys that are really the kind of celebrities, but the ones that are championing mezcal, right? Like Bobby Hugo, for example, he's got a loud voice, very resonant, and he talks about mezcal. Now you've got Judah coming in from Vago and kind of being an accessible surfer dude that people can kind of relate to. So you think we got about 10 years, let's say give or take, right? But it is changing, and you think it's evolving, and you think that people are really starting to have their interest piqued by these spirits.
Yeah, definitely. And as you were saying, Bobby, Judah.
Yeah.
I think it's a big family. I mean, it's just a big family where.
Why? So here's the thing. Why? I feel like we're family, right? Like, there's something about the agave spirits, and of course, don't the fact checkers or whatever, don't piss on me because I'm lumping it in because that same fam. I spare to say it, right? But why is it that we all feel like kindred spirits? Don't we? Like you and I, we had never met, but like we can sit and talk about mezcal or sotol, and we can just bond over it. What is it about the spirit that has that rallying quality? Because you can go anywhere and drink a mezcal with somebody, and all of a sudden you have a friend. Yes, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know. I think that it is. I don't know. If we're on the side of where we're trying to sell something, we're not really. I mean, it's okay if we sell it.
Yeah.
But if we tell the story and we share a glass with someone, that does the trick for us. I mean, either you buy it or you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's passion.
It is. I think you're right.
I think it's passion, and it brings everyone together. And I think it's only the beginning because I think at some point, you have so many channels in the industry that get together. And so many, I love, collaborating with big brands, small brands. If I can share a contact with someone or help them somehow, I don't think it's really taking away from you making a sale. Yeah. It's actually you're promoting Mexican spirits overall. It doesn't matter if it's Raicilla from Esteban, if it's Bacanora from Cecilia. I think there's plenty of.
But that's a great attitude because that's not necessarily how Diageo operates or how Bacardi would operate, right? Because it is so cutthroat, so corporatized, right? That it's just about landing the sale. But I think you understand this, and we can share this. That, as one of my friends told me once, rising tide raises all ships, and so you raise awareness for Sotol in your own way, and you brought like this magnificent boxes of bottles to the house before we started. I mean, that's a way to just say, here's some awareness, here's some things that I love, and let me share the passion that these guys have for the spirit.
Definitely. And even the big guys,
I'm not trying to be mean.
I'm not trying to pick on Diageo. No. And I completely understand. But even some of the big guys have really good people. They're good at getting good people. And I think it's very good that they sensibilize them and they take them there to the field.
Right.
And sometimes they're very curious and they start digging and they're, they might... And that's the thing about this industry too. I mean, you're wearing one shirt, but at the same time, you're wearing so many others. Yeah. I mean, if I'm at a liquor store and I'm trying to sell a bottle of Sotol, and someone's not gonna buy a Sotol because they want tequila.
Yeah.
If I can sell a tequila that a friend of mine does.
Helps everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, if I think it's a good product, but I'm not just going to sell them anything.
Yeah.
But I think that's what helps everyone, I mean, I know I think it's like a kind of a fraternity and
community at least. Yeah.
The big guys sometimes, take the small guys to their accounts or they put introductions for you, good introductions for you, because they respect the product that you're selling to. And I think, or at least that has been my experience. I've been surrounded by luck with incredible people. I mean, like that has helped me a lot. And I don't know. I think if that same good vibe spreads, I think
can't do any harm.
Exactly. No, and also I think it benefits consumers.
Yeah.
I think it helps with education. I mean, when you're a small brand, that's you and your bag and your bottles, and of course you know it too. I mean,
we're a band of 3 or 4 people that try to keep this company afloat. You know, it's
exactly
you fight more for it.
Exactly, and I think it's just as respectable. I mean,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you work for the big guys, that's
fine.
Pretty challenging too. I mean,
but they did in a completely different way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why I don't know. I have a lot of respect for everyone. I mean, like everyone who does things right and respects their people, coworkers. I mean, and I think Mexican spirits right now, the biggest challenge is to position or categories here, you know. And
what is so? How do you position Sotol in relation to tequila? What's your way to explain that to people?
Well, I would first start with the plant. I would say the plant is completely different. Yes, it is a cousin or a relative of the agave, but not strictly an agave. And the word or the botanic name of the plant doesn't help a lot because it's Dasylirion, which is probably
like what is
impossible to to even spell. I mean,
it took me a while. Yeah.
So that's step number one. Visually, I think it resembled more a jaca than
it really does
an agave
with the spikes.
Exactly.
That's the way I think about it when I look at the plants. Like,
exactly.
And they poke. And do you ever notice this? I thought this was funny. So the spikes, if I recall, they poke inward. So if you were to try to pull the leaf, you'd be fucked because it would just shred your hand up.
Well, it depends on the species.
No kidding.
Yes.
So the texanums that we use, that's the array of the
spikes.
Downwards, yeah.
And actually, some people used to say that when they grow downwards, it's because they get plenty of rain.
Oh, really?
So, because when they grow upwards, they kind of subtract a little more water. They're kind of trying to channel it into the plant.
Oh, that
but
makes
I mean,
sense.
From the terroir that you're talking about, I mean, I don't think they get a lot of rain. It's very dry, very arid, right?
Yeah, very arid.
So
an okay amount of rain, but I like that though, to think that the plant adapts in that sense. It's like just trying to suck the water out, you know, have these nucleation sites in a sense, right? Where the water can just kind of gather. That's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's a cool story. And also, I mean, I think it's a very unique plant because it's a little more primitive than the maguey.
Yeah, it's very primitive.
And it doesn't, I mean, like, it doesn't shoot the hijuelos as maguey does.
Yeah.
So it's only sexual reproduction for Sotol.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not many female plants out there.
Really?
So yeah, I think Vogler's thesis is probably the best work on the Dasylirion.
Yeah.
But I think it's still a very technical paper. I mean, it's just I tried to go through it for a couple times, and you only get to a certain point because I mean it's very, very academic.
Right. It's hard. It's hard for me to even go into and try to approach it and understand how to process these plants. You know, I went and spent some time in Oaxaca, but the sugar content of those plants, that gives you a lot of flexibility versus the Sotol, which is just so runty and so hard to get that sugar out of it. And I kind of feel like it's up to you and I to create verbiage for it that is accessible and that can help people understand it, because we're basically, no pun intended, distilling the academic stuff that we've read. I mean, I've tried to read as much as possible. Doesn't help me all that much, because there's not a lot out there. But it's up to us to kind of distill that message down and kind of disambiguate what the Sotol is and what it tastes like and what it looks like and all of that. I mean, do you like that responsibility?
Yes.
To spread the word,
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good moment, to start doing that. And I mean, I'm very excited to be part of it. Yeah. And I mean, so I was mentioning my background is
So you're doing economics for undergrad at UTEP. What did you do when you got it? I imagine you finished 4 or 5 years?
Yes, 4 years. Then I went back to Chihuahua.
Okay.
To help my family. We have a couple businesses there, nothing to do with spirits either. So then I went back because I wanted to help them with their business.
Right, because you had some tools now, right?
Exactly.
You go to UTEP. It's maybe I understand things a little bit better now.
Exactly.
And you help the family out.
Yeah,
That's
and
great.
I mean, I grew with. I had some roommates that were in arts and graphic design, so we kind of revamped our store and our logo, the identity and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I stayed there for a little bit more. I started a master's in public policy.
Oh, interesting. At UTEP again, or
Chihuahua? The Universidad Autónoma de Chihuahua, which is the state university in Chihuahua.
Okay. Cool.
So I did my master's there, finished my master's, and I mean, I don't know. I was very my goal was to change things in Mexico, either in, I don't know, municipal, state, or a federal level.
Make a difference in some way, right?
Exactly. Kind of make a difference. I mean, just saddens to see how corrupt the government is. Did you
grow up with a lot of that? I mean, so we're corrupt here, but it's all with a smile on your face. And
exactly.
It's behind your back, someone's stealing money. But is it that there, or is it really more overtly violent, for example?
That's the thing. I mean, it's a combination of things. I don't know. There's a big gap, a big inequality gap in Mexico. So you have very few rich people, a huge poor people base. And I think that, I don't know, right now it's very, people doesn't have the empathy, and doesn't realize, and our politicians don't realize, I mean, what they're earning and what an average worker in Mexico earns.
That is the wage disparity, as they call it.
Exactly. Right? And also, and I don't know, they're very, I mean, cynical about it. They don't care. And I wanted to see if there's possibilities, if there was a possibility of changing that.
Yeah.
So that was the idea first. I made a couple startup projects in the meantime. I had some friends that were into marketing, some other friends that did design. So we started doing a small company, like a boutique communications agency, where we used to do consulting for small restaurants, coffee shops, and Sotol Hacienda was one of our customers.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So you were freelancing
exactly
for them, and would you say it was kind of like PR work?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, little
sharing
PR,
the brand, spreading the word, that kind of stuff.
A little advertising, and so that's how I got involved. But my first, when I met Enrique, who's our director for Hacienda, I met him through my brother.
Oh, okay.
So
were you working with your brother?
They're friends.
Oh, just friends.
Yeah, just friends. And but I had an idea. My dad has apple orchards in Chihuahua.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had this idea about doing a hard cider.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Something from Mexico?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I realized what hard cider was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I did summer abroad in Finland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I mean, I saw all the girls at every single bar drinking hard cider, and I was like, "What is that?" And I tried it, and I was, wow. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, all the guys are drinking beer.
Yeah.
All the girls are drinking hard cider. If you bring that into Mexico or the U.S., and I mean, well, U.S. has plenty of hard ciders now.
Sure.
But at the time,
but then you said, how long ago was this? You said like 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I saw that, and my project started in 2010.
Oh, okay.
So
still before the wave of ciders, because it's just been the past couple years.
Exactly. So actually, when we were developing the business plan for that, Stella Artois came up with the Cidre. Strongbow made their move in Mexico as well.
Oh, no kidding.
It was just like perfect timing, but unfortunately we didn't have the resources.
It's hard because you have to, like, especially doing production like that. It's just it's insane.
Yeah. Of course, it would have to stay in the artisanal side, I guess. But still, so the idea was to make a cider that was rested for a little bit in Sotol Sotol casks.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So that was the first idea and my first kind of approach into the alcohol.
Because it will add, that's an interesting thing, is that it will add maybe a little color for one, but two, it'll add that wonderful vegetal sharpness from a Sotol.
Exactly.
Which cut out. Did you get to even do a test batch of it?
No.
What it tastes like
Unfortunately, we didn't. But I mean, well, you can always revisit, and I mean, it's down on the list, I guess.
It's open source, everybody.
Exactly. So then afterwards, I mean, the project didn't move forward. I mean, they're very focused on the Sotol, so I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense to branch out. And afterwards, I started working closer to Enrique. Then I got the position to manage the market here in the U.S. and Canada.
So you own the whole U.S. North American market.
Ultimately,
what's your official title with Hacienda?
Well, it's planning and strategy manager, which is kind of a very random name for it. And I don't know. I mean, we do a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say that's like they'll call you that, but then it's like, hey, I need you to tweet something. Like
exactly.
that just come up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I've been lucky in that sense because you get to work the whole side of the industry, and I bet you do as well because I mean, it's in some sort of way a one person's company in terms of running the daily operations and hey, well, this is happening with the importer and this is happening with this distributor and this other distributor.
It's a lot.
And find a new market and all that. I mean, takes time. And if you add that, which is like the administrative side of it,
right?
And if you add the brand ambassador component, exactly, it gets a little crazy and challenging, but I think it's great. I mean, because I don't know. I
mean, it could be worse. There aren't many faces of Sotol in North America, I mean, you're kind of part of an elite few if you think about it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm always happy to see new ones too, it's always good. I have the fortune of knowing other producers. I mean, like Jacob Hackes, for instance, from Don Cuco, great guy. I mean, I saw him recently, and I think it's important, to because the more we are, the more we're gonna be able to do for the category.
Yeah. Well, we have to band together. I mean, there's really no choice because there's not enough of us to be fragmented. There's so few. That's like we kind of should just play along and work together because it's different with other craft distillers, whether it's vodka or gin or whatnot. There's so many. Everybody kind of operates independently, and that makes some sense. But Sotol, because it's so different and it's so regional, and everybody has such a particular narrative and expression that they share of it based on their life experiences, that's a reason that we need to start a band together, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. And you know, I mean, I'm very, I don't know, like open-minded in every way, as we were mentioning. Well, there's nothing for me. I mean, personally, I think it's on consumers.
Yeah.
Consumers say. I mean, like whether you like it or not, it's not your pick. I think consumers at the end of the day are the ones that determine if something
the power of the spender. I mean, that's ultimately the money talks, you know.
Exactly. And so because some big brands, I don't know, like let's say Patron, I mean, might not be for you, or you might not like it, but I don't know. I respect what they do. I think they do a good product.
It was an interesting move, you know, to make the Tahona based tequila, you know.
And I think that you know, there's many characters and there's many roles that companies have to play in this industry.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now everyone benefits from what Patron has done in the past, because they positioned the tequila category.
Sure.
And might be the same with Del Maguey, for instance. I mean,
the
everyone
pioneers.
knows
I mean,
mezcal.
Tito's put it right for craft. Well, quote unquote craft. The way it started. There's got to be the pioneer, and someone's got to start it. You know.
Exactly. And it's not. And of course, I mean, once you get the hang of it and you start playing around a little more with the product, it will improve and better things will come out of something like that, you know. And I think we're still learning, and we're always going to be learning. And I mean, we're always learning, and we're in if we put it in terms of Mexico, we're always finding. I mean, like
right.
I don't know if you've met Eric Rodriguez.
No, I don't think I
have. He has Mezcalito Pal Alma as his brand.
Okay.
So he's like a mezcal explorer. He's been like everywhere, and I mean, I don't know. I think it's very cool how people that's very passionate about this industry find these amazing things. I mean, like we were at his office in Mexico City, and we were having a mezcal tasting. Went through like, I don't know, 30 different mezcals, which were all incredible.
Yeah.
And we were asking him like, hey, how do you find this? I mean, like,
that's a lot.
Yeah. And how do you do it? And he was like, oh yeah, well, when I'm on the road, if I see an open dirt road, I just drive, I drive in.
Yeah.
I stop, I ask around like, hey, do you know anyone who makes mezcal?
Oh, that's amazing.
So I try them. If I like them, I buy them. If I buy them, I drink half a bottle.
Yeah.
If next day I'm okay, then I'm like, okay, I might have
something.
something.
Methanol is under control.
Exactly. So I think it's pretty amazing.
That's a very cool. It's like Magellan, right? It's like going to find the new undiscovered mezcals or the undiscovered areas, producers, all of that. It's almost like the guy that works for the major label, right? He's like, I gotta find new acts. He's at those shows every night, kind of looking. It's funny. Exactly. He's A&R. He's A&R for mezcal.
Exactly. And I think another important element is to keep the traditions. I mean, like just keep everyone comfortable with what they're doing, and because I mean, I think it's important to look at the social aspect of producers, sustainability, and because I mean, these plants take a long time to grow.
Right.
Sotol takes
like
even longer because it's wild harvested.
Yeah, right.
Probably we're talking 15 to 20 years at least, and it's hard to grow them. You need to if you're putting a nursery, you have to let them grow their defense mechanism, which is the spikes, and then they'll be able to survive. But if not, rodents will eat them.
No kidding.
Rabbits. And so it's going to be really challenging. And that's the important part about Sotol not being yet mainstream, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah, it's maybe not easy to cultivate right now.
No, yeah, it's not easy at all. And for instance, Hacienda has been working with the State University of Chihuahua, just helping with the research and trying to find a way that they can sustainably cultivate.
Yeah.
Because at some point, I mean, if this once
if it catches on,
someone in China gets the idea of start buying Sotol, I think not even all of us together, even with you.
That's a really interesting point. I think we I can't remember exactly, but I think we bought the trademark for Sotol in China.
Wow.
Because we kind of saw that, they're gonna want it there, and like tequila's protected, but Sotol is not protected internationally, So we'll talk about that. Speaking of China,
well,
it's not so bad. So tell me, when did you start? So you were freelancing, and then Hacienda de Chihuahua, they said, hey, we want you, right, to work for them.
Yes.
Even though you're you've got good designers and good marketing guys around you, but you were the star.
Yeah, the thing is, at the same time, we were starting a craft brewery in Chihuahua.
Oh, okay.
So we were funding our craft brewery with the funds that came from the
from the
advertising.
Yeah.
So they kind of grew at the same time, and but then Enrique kind of told me, "Hey, well, I got a position for you if you're interested, and we want you full time here." So that's when I started doing this full time.
What year?
That was 2013.
Oh, cool. So you've been a couple years now.
Yeah, a couple years now, fully involved on this. And I mean, it's been wonderful. I think, it's a hard task to educate consumers on what Sotol is.
It's tough.
But yeah, I mean, I've been around it for a while.
If anybody could do it, right? If you can't do it from drinking it from a young age, being surrounded by the plants in Chihuahua, I'm not sure who's more fit to do it.
No, I mean, everyone can learn fast, and I think, just like mezcal, there's very, very knowledgeable people here in the States.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we nerd out about it. We love mezcal. It's all we got. It's bourbon or mezcal. You can't develop the passion and the academic plethora of knowledge about vodka that you can mezcal. It's just not the opportunity. I think so. Yeah, you get different source grains and stuff like that, but there's nothing as rich in terms of process, in terms of varietals, in terms of area that mezcal brings to the table. There's nothing American spirit wise, I think, that's even nearly as close, with the exception of bourbon, which is different though, because most of the magic, or a lot of the magic, happens in those years after, right, as it's an aged spirit.
Definitely. And I think the beautiful thing about Mexican spirits is that you're talking about a plant and the life of the plant that you can taste in the bottles.
Yeah.
So I think that's where most of the magic
totally
happens.
Does. That's what's really appealing about it to me, is that it's the land, the plant, you cook it, convert those starches, and then you ferment and then distill. And there's really no interference. You're not, some people age. I know the Hacienda de Chihuahua has a couple of aged Sotols as well, but the Joven, just clear mezcal, that's the purest expression. That is an acoustic set.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Definitely. And I think I completely agree with you. As I was mentioning, I don't have anything against aging.
Yeah.
But I drink,
split. People are split over it.
Exactly. No, but all I drink personally is blancos. Of course, I'll drink a reposado. And I think, for instance, with tequilas.
Yeah.
In reposado, I don't know, but tequila has that sort of pedigree where they can, some of them will be very classy reposados.
Yeah.
Just perfect balance, very nice, mellow oakiness, and But with mezcal, I wouldn't see that, for instance, on a tepestate or
Oh man, what would be the why would you want to mellow it out?
Exactly.
Right? Like it's meant to be that way. It's punk rock. Like don't try to overproduce that. But tequila has the smoothness and the pop sensibility to express it in an oaky way, right? It's not as jagged. It's not as dynamic inherently.
Exactly, but yeah, I mean, what I'm personally into is white spirits. I mean, like,
me too.
I love, all kind of mezcals, Raicilla, Bacanora, Sotol. I mean, I think another very important aspect that we haven't mentioned yet, and that's the base of all this, is a producer.
Sure.
I think the hand of the maker. And I don't know, I would love to see at some point an industry where we relate a little more to maestros mezcaleros, maestros sotoleros, maestros tequileros, in a way that they're closer to the concept of a chef.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And
I would say it's even more like as you said, maestro is a great word for it. Combining and balancing and moving and keeping tempo, but balancing low end, mid range, and high, right? Those three sections of the run.
Exactly.
It's musical to me. And if you're right too, that it is culinary in the sense that there are tastes that are distinctly different in all three areas of that run.
It's a harmony.
It is.
I would say, and for instance, some maestros sotoleros, I've even seen them, like just by the sound of the spirit pouring, they would be able to tell the ABV.
That is amazing.
Yes, I mean, amazing. I was like, wow.
I would love to, because I love that concept, like hearing the difference in things, and saying, because it's, oh man, without getting too nerdy, it'd be lighter. The higher the alcohol, it would be lighter and less viscous, ultimately,
Exactly.
So if you threw it at something, maybe, well, this is an A sharp, but when I get to the hearts, that it's actually an A, It's such an interesting concept.
Yeah, I think it is. And also, I don't know, they have such a, like their senses are really, really developed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing about the old or the remote Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very humble, hardworking people that, they might not have much,
right? But
whatever they have, they offer to you. I mean, like in terms of food, shelter. I don't know. It's kind of really changes your perspective. I mean, like urban Mexico is great. I mean, it's wonderful. But I think that one of the most valuable assets about the country, it's people, like the humble, hardworking people that are on the field. Mm-hmm. I really have a lot of respect for them, and somehow I'm not a big fan of denomination of origins. For instance, I think, as long as the plant grows there, you can find the Sotol plant even in Oaxaca. And as far as Oaxaca, and I've driven all through, from Chihuahua, which is right at the border, all the way through the coast of Oaxaca. And you see the plants. All your way down there. And I think denominations of origin, of course, help in some sort of way that you can trace where the plant comes from. Mm-hmm. But for instance, when I'm talking about Sotol, I tell them, hey, well, you can find it in Arizona, even some in some parts of California.
Yeah.
You can find in New Mexico, Texas, of course. And I think that's the beauty of it, because right at the time where you didn't have a border, the Apaches, the Mogollon, the Anasazi, the Raramuri, they used to feed on the plant.
Yeah, and make bread from it, from what I understand. I don't even know how.
Yes, I don't
even know how you do it. But
there's, and they're reconstructing the story just as they're reconstructing the modern story of Sotol, even,
Right.
From what they have found so far, they are aware that they used to ferment at least.
Uh-huh.
And I think, and of course, they used to eat the maguey plant as well.
Right.
There's a couple of magueyes that grow in Mexico, in Chihuahua, I'm sorry, in the northern part of Mexico. And that's, I mean, you're always finding new stuff.
It's so
I mean,
interesting.
we even found someone who gave me a taste of Sotol mezcal blend.
Uh-huh.
So they use the two right from scratch. I mean, like they cook the plants together, they distill it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a beauty about this industry. I think not being very square, be very open helps you because you'll taste more, you'll get more expressions,
Right.
and of
It
course,
encourages creativity too.
exactly,
You know, without such rigid guidelines.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, some stuff should be rigid, but then some things shouldn't be.
Yeah, and I think that's, I mean, that's what I really love about your project. I mean, it's thinking out of the box. Hey, why
Yeah.
not? I mean,
Thanks, man. I
Hey,
appreciate
if the plant is here,
Let's
why
cook
not?
it. Let's
Yeah,
eat, you know?
exactly. Cook it. And, I've heard it many times. I mean, like, when I'm showing the plant and when I'm talking about Sotol, I'm telling them, like, oh, this is the plant. Hey, I have one on my jar. I'm
Exactly,
just going
yeah.
to cook it and make some Sotol. And I'm like,
All
why
right,
not
do it,
it?
man? Who cares? It's delicious, you know?
Exactly.
So speaking of delicious, you've beyond the other amazing plethora of samples that you brought that are downstairs. You brought, and the bottle for this evening is the Hacienda de Chihuahua Sotol. It's a blanco, but it's the Rustico.
It's a Rustico, yes.
Yeah. So tell me kind of how that's different from the regular blanco.
Well, I've been trying to convince our master distiller from a couple of years now
Yeah.
into doing, this traces back a little bit to the origins of Sotol. The first Sotol that Hacienda de Chihuahua did was right before the 1990s.
Okay.
So they started experimenting on some Sotol batches made by Jose Daumas de Parte Arroyo, who's our master distiller.
Mm-hmm.
He was trained in Montpellier, so he has a very, very strong wine background. He used to work for Moët Chandon, Martel, and Larsen. So he's incredible. I have a lot of respect for him, and I think he does wonderful Sotols. He has a very kind of a signature style.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find, that kind of consistency, pureness. And so I think Hacienda de Chihuahua has a very, very defined personality.
Right.
So I felt that we were a little weaker on the full character.
Right. I mean, because I think we have a little sample at the distillery that you so kindly brought to us a while back, but I'm getting a little bit of larger nose, a bigger glass and stuff now. This has body. I mean, this has all of the things that I come to expect from a Sotol. It has that vegetal, it has the baked, it has the kind of dirt flavor as well, but still that wonderful underlying sweetness. Mm-hmm. And so this is 45?
45 ABV, yes.
Yeah. So it's nice and perfectly balanced. There's not much heat to it, but it has the richness of any mezcal.
Yes.
But I mean, honestly, it trumps the other blanco because it's got so much flavor.
Yeah, and I think it's just
not
different.
Different
preferences too. I mean, and so I think this will appeal way better for mezcal and agave
body. Yeah, it's really
connoisseurs.
good.
I think it has a lot more layers.
Yeah,
it still has some of the sweetness. But what we wanted to achieve with this was to get as close as we could to taking a bite to the plant.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And we on the terroir, I mean, mainly we use desert plants, desert terroir plants. So that's what the profile of Hacienda, or like the signature, would be. I mean, earthiness.
I'm getting this wonderful like sweet aftertaste. It's just lingering.
Yes,
it's really wonderful.
And it lingers. I mean,
it's really nice.
I think even when it took some time to convince our master distiller, it kind of paid off because, I mean, when Hacienda first started doing Sotol, they were very scared that Sotol was considered moonshine in Chihuahua. So anyone do mention, hey, have a sip of Sotol, they would be like, no, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what I used to clean my car's engine, you know?
Right.
And I think to get rid of that backlash, Pepe or Master Distiller, he wanted to make it very, very fine, very subtle,
clean,
make it very pure in the sense that, I mean, you can go through a whole bottle and it'll be super gentle next day.
Yeah.
And which is typically the case with Mexican spirits too.
Because they're distilled with care.
Exactly. So I think this is a very different style, probably out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, I felt a little I don't know, out of place because of course I don't have his experience. I mean, he has decades of experience in the alcohol industry, and I'm just a guy that has tried some stuff, and that's it. And
so what are the I mean, this really works, and it'll resonate really well. What's the plan for releasing the Rustico?
Well, it's launching this year.
Okay,
so
good.
Yeah,
in Texas, hopefully.
Yes, Texas. We're gonna try to make it available before the end of the year.
Oh, great.
So I think it's gonna be good for. I mean, of course, the agave enthusiasts.
Sure,
and
it's gonna be good for Sotol aficionados as well. I mean, it does a lot of different things. It's such a depth of flavor on it.
Yes. I think it like an unleashed version. I mean, like everything the plant has to offer. It's in there,
top down, just going 85 pedal to the metal, I guess. So what's retail going to be on it? Do you have any idea?
It's going to be around $33 a bottle.
That's great. $7.50, 45%, $33. I mean, it's a great price.
Yeah, it's a very reasonable price point, and I think I mean, like, the higher ABV will. I mean, and that's another thing. I mean, like, I'm very open-minded about cocktails as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think cocktails are fun and are a good introductory phase to a spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in terms of dedication, I think, I mean, like, pairing food cocktails and getting to later on sipping on Rustico.
Yeah.
I would say perhaps those are the steps, to kind of grow consumers into Sotol.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So I think it's gonna be very, very good entry level Sotol.
I think so too, but don't undersell it or don't underplay it. It is complex enough to play with the big boys, if you will, like those really, really complicated cerebral mezcals. It's delicious, multi-layered, and I'm really so glad you were able to share it with me.
No, man, my pleasure. Anytime, we're very you're very close to the source.
Yes, yes. Part of the rally, part of the group, part of the team. I'm really
definitely, man. And I think that also I see myself not only selling Sotol, but selling Chihuahua. Selling Mexico. I think we need to go there more often.
Yeah.
I think you need to, everyone needs to meet these wonderful people that surround this industry.
Yeah.
And not only the liquor industry, but the cuisine and the touristic places that are down there.
Yeah.
I think there's still much more to be done in the category. And the same, I say, for Durango and Coahuila, which are the other two neighboring states of the DO, and ideally, I would love to see Chihuahua becoming the next Oaxaca or the next Jalisco.
Yeah,
and I mean, it makes a lot of sense because it's way closer than Oaxaca and Jalisco to the U.S.
So I hope that we can go down there. I would love to come down.
Definitely, man. Let's plan on the next trip. We did the first industry tour in September.
Oh, very cool.
So a couple friends from Houston, Houston and Dallas mainly.
Yeah.
But Clayton Sheck from Experience Tequila.
Okay.
I don't know if you met
I'm
him.
not familiar.
He gives tequila and mezcal tours.
Oh, right. No. Yeah, I know who
Clayton?
you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Excellent guy. He went there too.
Oh, cool.
And Dr. Rhonda Brulot, an anthropologist. So, I mean, and that's the fun thing about this. I think it's very interdisciplinary. I mean, it's not only if you like spirits.
Right.
It's, I mean, if you like spirits, if you like arts, culture, gastronomy, I think having a great rounded experience, that's part of it,
It's incredible. I mean, I'm so interested to see it now. I'd love to go.
Anytime, man. Anytime. We'll be glad to have you there.
Yeah, I would love it. And, Ricardo, thanks so much for stopping by and chatting with me. But thank you so much for sharing. Because this is, one thing that I've learned is that the reason that we're doing what we're doing is not only because we're passionate about it, but because we love to share.
Yes.
Absolutely,
yes.
Man.
And I think it's the most important thing. I mean, it's, as we were mentioning, it's not a game of selling. It's a game of sharing. It's a game of learning.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was pretty pleased with the Sotols that you shared with me as well. And I thank you for that. And thank you for, giving us the outlet to bring the story of Sotol out there because... I mean, that there's not much out there, not that I know much, but I mean, still, maybe someone who knows can hear us and, and call us and teach us.
I think it'll be a great avenue, and I'm looking forward to sharing this interview, man. So thanks so much for chatting with me.
No, thanks so much for having me, Mike, and let's keep in touch, and maybe we can do a second chapter right from Chihuahua.
I think that's a good on-location spot, man. Thanks again.
Thank you. Cheers.
So who's coming to Chihuahua with me? I have a feeling it's quite beautiful. I certainly know the Sotol and the spirits are going to be incredible. But Ricardo makes a wonderful case about improving the perception, increasing tourism too, and just sharing his love and passion of Chihuahua. And I think it really comes through, and it's very enticing. I really like to check it out. One of the other things that's worth mentioning too is, like a magician or a plumber or electrician, Ricardo carries this box of Sotols from Chihuahua. Lots of Sotols. We get to taste about 5 to 7 after the interview. Different kinds of soils, lowland, highland, forest. And those soils, the way that they come through in these Sotols, it's so different and unique. And it reminds me so much of mezcal. But we have yet to fully be able to experience the wide array of Sotols that are available in Mexico. Yet. I emphasize that word. There's a lot on the horizon for desert spirits, and Ricardo is absolutely going to be at the forefront of that movement and that discussion. So thanks so much for tuning in to Show to V with Mike G. And no matter what you're drinking, Sotol, Raicilla, tequila, or mezcal, please keep drinking.